What is going on, everybody? I am back with a brand new video, and today we are going forehand only with my top 5 favorite forehand discs that I personally bag. Let's hop into it. These will be the 5 discs that we are playing with today, plus my putter, of course. First off, we got the Halo Wraith. If you've been on the channel, you know about the Halo Wraith. Next up, the Halo Thunderbird, the 2021 Nate Sexton Firebird, the Discraft Athena, and then of course I have the Zone. You'll never see me without a Zone unless it's a challenge video. Those will be the 5 discs that we're using today. I'll talk about them throughout the video, and I just realized hole 1 at the rec center is gone. So we are starting on hole 2. Hole 1 is going to be a simple 236-foot hyzer forehand. This will be, and for always will be, a forehand zone. Nice and stable, easily able to get into that wooded gap. The Zone is just a forehand machine for me. That is practically what I use on all of my upshots, and I have a straighter version in the Jawbreaker plastic. So it's very, very versatile for me. With that Jawbreaker, I can throw it dead straight. With the ESP, it has some nice fade to it, and I can really trust it on the ante lines. I can trust throwing it hard. Don't really have to worry about it at all. This is definitely the birdie putt you want to start off your round. The Zone is also one where I feel like I've become really good at those touch shots. So even if it's a shorter approach shot, that's something that maybe I don't want to jump putt, I feel very confident on just flicking a Zone up there nice and soft. Hole 2 is one of the trickier holes here at the Kettering Rec Center. It's 265 feet, so it's not very far, but it is very, very grown in. The basket sits up on the right side, so this is a great hole for my Nate Sexton Firebird. This is one of the straighter runs, but it still has some nice predictable fade to its finish. It also feels great in the hand for forehand, nice and flat, pretty much what I like. Yeah, I got that nice little skip fade there at the end. Do it. Come on, Max. That's what we like to see. Hole 4 is 250 feet. This isn't really a forehand hole, but there is a little sneaky gap off to the left side that we're gonna try to hit. I'm gonna go with something a little slower speed, like the Zone. I'm gonna try to put it on a little bit of ante through that gap, and if we hit it, we should have the distance. Oh, it's too low. Come on, hyzer. Oh my gosh, almost 3 for 3. That would have been kind of disgusting. Hole 4 is going to be 262 feet, slightly uphill. We are going to try our best to throw this thing straight down the middle on a little bit of hyzer where it just flips up just slightly. Oh, okay, I pulled it a little bit, but I think we are still parked. We are just slicing and dicing right through this course today. That is 3 out of the last 4. If you watched one of my previous videos, I kind of talked about how good I was playing, and then I went way downhill, started playing like shit. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. I haven't really learned my lesson just quite yet. Now, I could probably throw Zone once again, but I do want to show you how the Athena is flying. Now, this is a pretty short hole, so we're probably going to see a pretty straight flight to a nice stable finish. Oh, I didn't get enough turn on it. There's a nice fade. It almost flies like a Thunderbird at this distance. I wanted to put a little bit more turn on it, have it flex over to the basket. Just didn't quite get it over there. This is outside circle, so we're gonna treat it as if so. Oh, baby. I always do that. I always go, baby. 2 off cage at long distance though. Hole 6, we're actually gonna bring up to the top of this hill. The reason being is because this hole actually isn't really a good forehand hole at all. So at least here we can still throw a forehand and just have it dump off right. Now I'm gonna be taking something a bit more stable in the Halo Thunderbird. The Thunderbird took me a little while to get used to be honest. It's not as flat of a disc as I would like it to be for my forehands, but once I adjusted to that feel, it's been a very, very reliable forehand disc for me. I can really throw this as hard as I want, and it's still gonna have a nice stable finish to it. And overall, it's just very trustworthy. You can see how hard it dumps there at the end. Whoa, baby. Do that a little bit shorter. You really got to remember to give them credit. Blasted it. Now we're going to take a quick little break just to show you how all of these discs are flying, because I realize I'm not really going to be throwing all of them repeatedly out on the course today. So first up, we have the Zone. I'm going to throw ESP Zone, and I'll just show you the difference in that Jawbreaker plastic. So nice straight, and look how stable it is there off to the end. I didn't really throw that all too hard. Here's the Jawbreaker one. We're gonna try and throw this at the exact same angle, which is gonna be a little bit impossible. Yeah, I kind of pulled that on Annie. You can see how long it kind of holds there and then fades. Next up, we'll throw some full powered shots with the drivers that we have today. So first up is the Athena. Super, super straight. Then you're still gonna have that finish because it is a stable disc. That's not really that hard of a finish considering how high that I got it. Next, something a bit more stable in the Thunderbird. Started that on a little Annie, and then it's getting to the ground super, super fast. And that actually came up significantly shorter than the Athena. All right, we're gonna go with the Nate Sexton Firebird. This should be a bit straighter, go a little bit further than the Thunderbird, but it's still gonna have some nice fade off to the end. And that is the very, very nice fade. Firebird is still really nice too, because even though it is a straighter Firebird, I can still put it on some Annie and it's still gonna have some get back to it. And then last up is going to be my Halo Wraith. This one, I'll try to put it on a little bit of Annie because that's how I throw it mostly. I mean, that is like almost a full powered shot. And you see kind of how it rides Annie and has a nice fade back. And it's not really a strong fade to it. Now my more stable one, I can throw it. This will have a bit more fade to it. That's why I bag two. And it dumps out. Significantly shorter than the first one that I threw as well. So here's just kind of the quick line. You have Thunderbird, Firebird, Athena, and Wraith. Kind of hilarious. Hole 7 is going to be about 320 feet. And here is where I can finally showcase my favorite distance driver forehand disc, and that is going to be the Halo Wraith. Now with it being an 11 speed, it has a nice rim and grip to it. The Halo Wraith is nice and stable, and this is my beat in one. So I feel like any stable disc that you take and you beat it in over time is probably going to be a really good disc. You can still put it on Annie, it still fights back without just dumping hard. That's kind of what this thing does for me. I can put it on Annie, it can kind of ride a little bit, and then it'll come back. Now oftentimes a problem with this hole is I always cut it off short. For some reason I try to throw it straight at it instead of off to the left side, and then I end up way right. So that's what we're going to try not to do today. And I did it. Now, what I had to remember is that I'm doing forehand only unless I'm putting, so this might be a little difficult. I don't know if that counts as a forehand. This is what happens to me. I get too cocky, start talking too much, and then I end up bogeying. For my first bogey of the day, after starting, what, 3 for 3, or I think 3 out of 4. So I think I'm 2 down through 7 now. What a bummer. Hole 8 is gonna be 336 feet. Just another redemption of the Halo Wraith. This time I'm gonna take my more stable Wraith because we do have a little bit of headwind. I'm gonna try to throw it on this left side actually and just let it fade to the basket. I honestly don't think I can get this shot there. And that's pretty good effort. Look how stable that is going to finish. My buddy used to take a nuke and just blast it on that left side and just let it skip over to the basket. It's pretty incredible when he actually got it there. I mean, it's a big forehand shot, but the more fun shot is definitely the flex down the middle. But with the wind today, it was not gonna work out, I guarantee it. Hole 10 is a perfect forehand Wraith at 384 feet. Oh, a little high. Nice Annie on it though, and then there's the fade. Now I'm kind of curious, I'm gonna try to run this with a little forehand zone just for the fun of it. Let's go. All right guys, that is going to wrap it up for my forehand round only with my top 5 discs. And what do you guys think of the discs that I picked out? Obviously, these are just what I bag, what works for me. And honestly, I think they're money forehand discs that you really can't go wrong with. Anyway guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one.